they've been in therapy for a while. The affair is not happening anymore. However, there are these like leftover triggers, right? So Jeff's coming home from work. He doesn't tell Alex that he's gonna go run this errand. So Alex is like following him on like 360, and he's not where he says he's going to be. And there's this agreement that there's full transparency, like it's okay to check because that's what's needed for healing. So it's like, whoa, you broke the agreement. You're not where you said you were going to be. And so Jeff actually didn't do anything wrong, other than like he didn't perfectly say where he was going to be. um, we're treating it as a trigger, right? So this is, however, Alex is a bit on the fence. Is it a trigger or is it like you're, I, there's something suspicious here and I should be worried. Okay, so this is kind of what we're dealing with. All right, so I appreciate this is such a hard moment. And I hear you, this is a trigger, right? And we've been working together for a while, and this is sort of where I hear you that your cycle did take over, and I want to slow this down to
Hmm.
really help organize, make sense of. I just want to be with you, honestly, in it. But can you help me? I want to, if we kind of go back and look at that scene again. So, Jeff, you were saying that you know, if I can see you sort of in that car, you were saying you were driving home.
Yeah.
Like me, yeah,
Yeah. So, um, it kind of started when I got a text from him and I was like at a stoplight. And so I checked my text and I see all caps, where are you? Multiple question marks.
yeah.
So that's kind of how it started for me. Yeah.
Okay, so when you get this text, right, this sort of alarm bell, right, both for both of you, what is it that you're sort of telling yourself as you're about to enter into being home and seeing each other?
Yeah.
What's going through your head?
Oh man, it's like, oh shit. Here it comes. I'm gearing up for questions and, you know, um, just getting into it as soon as we get home. And like it was sad for me because like I was really just looking forward to being home. I'd had a good day. I was just wanting to, share about stuff that happened at work and now that's gone. Like it's just gone. So I'm trying to um, figure out how I'm going to enter the room. Um,
Yeah. I hear you. You're gearing up. You know this is going to be a hard conversation. Here we go, right? You get that. Um, and and you're sad because you actually are looking forward to just to being together. It's like in your relationship, um you do have these pockets of connection and you don't know when these triggers are going to come. And so it makes sense. It's like it takes you both extremely kind of off guard. So Jeff, if I see you in the interaction, help me. I just want to get really, really clear.
yeah,
You guys are telling me you did get caught. So,
yeah.
you know, in this interaction, yeah, you're gearing up. How does it go though? Like, what do I see you do when you're sort of worried?
Um, I mean, what actually happened is, I walk in and like I said, I'm already like ready for it. Um, and of course he was just like looking at me like, what is going on? And I was just like, what? I just had to go pick up something that I'd forgotten. It was like I had ordered some pictures from Walgreens, and I just, so I just started to tell him what was happening, like to prove to him that I'm not doing anything weird or
Okay,
see.
yeah, so there maybe there's a defensive tone, right? You're trying to sort of prove to him, we're okay, it's okay, I'm not doing anything wrong. Am I
Yeah,
getting
yeah, of course. Right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then off we go, right? There's this defensive tone. And is that okay, Jeff? Is that fair? It's you're trying to get,
Yes.
okay.
Sure, sure. Yeah, like that's
And
right.
this is the pattern we already know about. You know, we've worked on this. This is there for good reason. And Alex, I'm assuming even now, right? You're sort of shaking your head. This was so hard. You get the defensive tone, and what, you get more angry, or does that fit, Alex? You get more
Oh,
angry?
yeah, yeah. I it it's like we had an agreement. He was gonna just keep me up to date about what when he's gonna be home, if he has to go do something else before he comes home or whatever. Like he would just let me know. That's all I'm asking for. And
Right.
now he just didn't do that. He's
Yeah.
breaking our agreement. Like how can I trust him whenever it does make me angry?
Of
Like
course, of course. And I mean, it's a huge trigger. It makes sense, Alex. It's a huge trigger. You have these things in place to try to build back trust. You both are on board about this. And something happened, right? In this case, Jeff, you forgot to say exactly where you were going to be. It blows up in your face, right? You get mad about that. You get defensive. Alex, you're angry. Like, give me this one thing, right? I'm actually trying to heal here, but this is such a hard place for both of you. I get it. And so then your pattern just takes over, and then you feel so much worse, right? You feel so much worse. And so if we can go super slow here, I wanna, I do understand, and I can sort of see that mutual vulnerability. But I want to check in, Jeff. So as you're getting defensive, really wanting to sort of prove I didn't actually do anything wrong.
Right.
uh, And I can kind of see on your face, this is so hard. This is, I don't know, I'm almost like you look sad. I'm not sure what, but help me know, like, as you hear,
Well, I mean,
this is good reason for being upset, and you're a good reason for being upset. Like,
yeah. Well, I think, just even hearing you talk, Alex, it felt like, yeah, I guess I did break our agreement, so there's that where I'm like, oh, sometimes I forget that that's kind of a big deal, you know? So yeah, I mean, I do get defensive in the moment, but I think that behind that is like, yeah, I do want to help him out, right? Like I want to help him out as much as I can. I know this is hard, right? And so yeah, that part just makes me sad that, I
oh,
did mess
yeah,
up, So
yeah. And that, I hear you that you can kind of own that defensiveness. I do get defensive, but like in this moment, you have access to something else.
mhm,
You can sort of see Alex and why he would need um, to know just to have that transparency. So there's the sadness, kind of like, oof, and you feel that I can, you can see him and you can feel sad. Um, you feel that right now? I mean, it's sad for both of you, right? This is like, it's happened so fast. And where you actually want to be there for him and help him out, it's like an opportunity, right? earn back some trust. This thing takes over. You get really defensive. He gets more angry, and it's like sort of re-traumatizing almost. Um, Jeff, I wonder, this part of you that's just has this regret and can feel the sadness and can sort of see Alex and see kind of why he would be upset. Could you find his eyes and let him know about this sadness and this desire to help?
Yeah, I can try. Um, Alex, like that was rough, like I know, like I'm sorry that my first reaction is to try to like prove to you that nothing's happening. Um, like I think if I was in your shoes, um, like I'm not even saying like there's no way I can put myself in your shoes, right? Like it's impossible. I can't do that, but I think if I were in your place, I would feel the same way. Like I would be like, you broke your promise. It's a small promise, to help us heal, and you're not doing it. Like I would feel like that too. So, I'm just sad that I kind of opened that door for you, to have
Yeah,
to deal with that again. Yeah.
I feel that with you, Jeff. That missed opportunity, that sadness, and that you do get it. You would feel the same way. And so Alex, as I'm wondering in this moment, right, when Jeff is moving towards you with sadness, so different from that defensiveness. Are you able to take in this compassion from him?
Yeah, I mean, there's part of me that appreciates what he's saying, acknowledging it, and like I guess sort of believes what he's saying. But if I'm being really honest, it's really hard for me to believe him right now because he's it's this is something I feel like I've seen 1,000 times already. He's lied to me before or tried or supposedly saying he's can see my perspective on other things. Like you wouldn't even imagine how many times I've seen him say or heard him say he's sad or he understands where I'm coming from, but then he just goes ahead and lies to me about something else or doesn't tell me something. And how can I trust him with like it just happens over and over again. I could go on and on. It's
Alex,
really, really
Alex,
frustrating.
yeah, of course. Alex, I want to be with you here, okay? I want to slow this down and help organize maybe what's happening. But I need your help, okay? So if I get it wrong, will you please tell me?
Yeah.
I can so see there's like when Jeff was sharing and he had this beautiful emotion, right? And I felt it. Of course, there's a part of you that's like starts to be moved, just starts to be moved and starts to believe. And then there's this other part that says, hell no, right? I've seen that before. It's almost like you can remember when you felt that before, when you felt moved before. And it was, while Jeff was having an affair. So of course, I'm not going to be blindsided again. You bring that guard up. Nope. I don't believe you. You've lied before. Like you get really strong and angry and big. You have to have this guard up because if you let yourself, you help me here, okay? I don't want to assume, but if you let yourself be moved,
I'm gonna
then
be blindsided. Like he's gonna
exactly. So there's such good reason to not. But this is where we are, okay? This is where we are in the work. Neither one of you are doing anything wrong. Jeff, when you shared, of course, I believe you. I feel you and believe you. You are absolutely sad, and you do get it from Alex's perspective, you know, and I'm sure it's hard that when you share, you're not trusted, you're not believed, right? I'm sure that brings up all kinds of shame and regret, and, you just kind of, I mean, we've talked about this before. It makes you want to give up. And
Right.
and then I saw you kind of shaking your head. And Alex, if you see that, right, that just reinforces, see?
Hmm.
And so there, and then it's like it's ironic because the very thing that you were sharing, Jeff, that you get is happening,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
so it's it really is a huge dilemma, so it makes sense, Alex, that while you can start to be moved, your nervous system says, don't you dare. And so how does that frame fit? Does that feel right? I want to make sure that I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. It's a good way of putting it. Like, I just feel that a part of me just doesn't want to, ex, ex, can't. It's having a hard time trusting him,
of course.
and
And that,
it's scary, honestly.
of course, Alex, of course. Yeah. Yeah. And I can be there with you where it's a bit scary, right? It makes sense. Yeah, I don't want you to be alone in that. And I know when that pattern takes over, ultimately you'd love Jeff to be with you where it's scary, but you also don't want him to be with you. So it's like it's a huge, huge dilemma. And we're gonna just camp out there, okay? We're just gonna camp out there, and I'm not leaving you in that place. Okay. End role play. Good job.